Hey guys, I'm back with another story time. Today's video is going to be a little bit more on the dark side, so I want to put a trigger warning, and this is something that personally happened to me. As you guys know, I've been doing influencing for the last 10 plus years, and for about 2.5 years I lived in LA and I had quite a bit of questionable experiences. This experience being getting invited to a fake photo shoot by a fake photographer and having one of the worst experiences of my life.
System malfunction.
What is happening, YouTube? Hey, I had to jump back on here real quick because I recently launched a video called Moving to LA, Prepared to be Homeless. And while digging through social media and coming across all the dysfunction that I normally come across, this young lady here basically proves the point that I was making in that video, that if you're not familiar with how these cities operate, especially all the dirt and the filth that you have to sift through, you can find yourself in a precarious situation. But before we get started, if you can please do me a favor and like the video, click the notification bell. That way you will be notified of all new content that releases. And if you think this video may resonate with someone that you know, please share it out to them so that they can prepare themselves if they're making the decision to move to one of these big cities.
This whole situation took place in Silver Lake, California. It's a really small city next to Glendale, which is in LA. So I was reached out to via DM on Instagram by a magazine that doesn't exist, and right after I had this situation happen to me, the account was gone. Not a famous one, it was not Vogue, it wasn't Glamour, it was nothing like that. But sometimes you would see influencers be featured in random magazines in LA that, wouldn't have a huge following, but, it's cute, it's an experience, right? So I thought it was one of those situations. The account maybe had like 1,000 or 2,000 followers, but I thought it'd be fun. I wasn't going to get paid for this shoot, but of course I was going to be featured on the cover as well as on their website. They told me I was going to be shooting in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Beverly Hills, so why did I get sent an address to Silver Lake? And the fucked up part is that my intuition told me not to go. Even my best friend at the time told me, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I just wanted the experience. So the photographer I was supposed to work with, all they told me was his name was Carl. The address they gave me was actually a couple houses down from the actual address that I was supposed to go to, because they told me just go a couple houses down to the left and you'll see the person waving you down. Immediately I'm like, okay, this is not the multi-million-dollar property that they promised. This was like a one-bedroom little bungalow type thing. The photographer was nice at first, but immediately he started trying to get me drunk. He said that he did this with all the models just to loosen up and have a good time. He was turning music on. But when I say this man was trying to get me drunk, he kept pouring them and pouring them. But I stopped after 3 shots because I'm not really a drinker. I was definitely tipsy, but I was not drunk. So I was fully aware of everything that was going on. I've gone to some shoots with friends and they'll have makeup artist, hair, outfit, everything. This wasn't there. They told me to bring pajamas. They told me to bring loungewear, comfy type stuff. So I was thinking, this is going to be a comfy, cozy type shoot. So after taking a couple of photos, everything was fine. And then he started saying, I don't know, these photos aren't really working out. This man came up to me while I was posing and pulled my shorts up into a wedgie, basically to expose my entire ass.
All right, a couple of things that I gotta highlight here. There was more than enough red flags thrown in this lady's face. She already uncovered that the magazine didn't even exist. They told her that she wasn't gonna get paid for the job, and the address and the description of the house didn't even match. They told her that the property was gonna be in Beverly Hills, and she ended up in Silver Lake. Then she pulls up to a one-bedroom house that clearly doesn't fit the description of a mansion in Beverly Hills. And when she gets there, she proceeds to have shots, alcoholic beverages, with an unknown stranger who starts to get touchy-feely with her right from the jump.
Said, oh yeah, that's better now, and continued to take pictures. I was uncomfortable, of course, but I was like, okay, maybe these will look better. I don't know. Girl, I was only 20, but if I'm gonna be honest, mentally, I was maybe 17. I was very sheltered growing up. I did not have a lot of experiences, so I was very naive to a lot of stuff. After taking a couple more photos, he pulls out a box and it is filled with Polaroids. These Polaroids are a bunch of girls either half naked or full nude, and they were all in loungewear, comfortable type clothes like I was, but they were exposing themselves. He asked me if he could take a couple pictures of me like that. I immediately said no. I was like, sir, I thought this was something different. I think you have the wrong person for this job. This man tries to start pouring more shots, talking about, oh, all the other girls did it, like it's fine, like it's not weird. If you think it's weird, you're weird. Like, not him trying to gaslight me. After saying no like 12 freaking times, this guy comes up to me, picks me up by my ass, and starts spinning me around, starts squeezing me, starts getting way too fucking touchy, and then starts doing movements insinuating.
And there you have it. This lady is almost repeating what I said in that last video. Move to LA, prepare to be homeless, where these naive people come from these small towns and they flock to these big cities searching for stardom and fame. And in these cities is where all of the predators lie. They know that these people are coming here in search of someone that can help lift them up. So they pose as directors, they pose as producers, and they sell these people a dream that makes them feel like they're the ones that's going to be the key to opening the door to their success.
This dude was bigger than me, stronger than me, so like your girl couldn't get away. And every time I would almost get away, it would just switch to a different position of him doing some other weird shit. I finally get away from this guy, get out of the apartment, and I'm running down the street so I can call an Uber, and the whole time he's yelling, you stupid, you stupid. I went straight back to my apartment, and I got straight in bed, and I just cried. I had a roommate at the time, and they kept asking me, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I just kept saying, like, nothing, I don't want to talk about it. I went back on Instagram to DM the magazine to tell them what happened, and their account was gone. So I'm over here trying to look up, like, Carl the photographer, LA, Carl, Silver Lake, anything, and nothing was showing up. At this time, I was going through so much other shit as well, just being in LA and being in toxic groups of people, and just being in really scary situations, as you guys have seen from my other stories. So many times in the past, I had reported things to the police and nothing would come from it. Like, no investigation, nobody arrested, like, nothing. I would just never hear back. So from my older stories where people are like, oh my God, are you just talking about it for clout? Did you report it? This happened almost 10 years ago, a lot of these situations, and yes, I did report it.
So she's been here before. She's an OG to the possible kidnapping situations. But still, the stardom and fame and the clout is just too much to turn away.
But there's some dark shit going on out there that, like, some people are just protected. They don't care about, like, certain shit. I don't know. So I called the police and I told them what happened, and they said they would get back to me. I gave them the little information that I had at the time, and they basically said, sorry, we can't do anything about it. Saying that this person probably gave me a fake name, fake address, all that, and they're probably just gone. But oh, we'll get back to you if we find out anything. 2 years later, bitch, I decide to try again. This time I'm living in Arizona. I get a social worker. I work with the police. Here we go, involving the Silver Lake police again. I really do appreciate the social worker that was trying to help me as much as she could. We spent hours together trying to look anything up and find anything to get this man. But of course, it led to another dead end, and the police once again dropped the case. So I'm just sharing this story for the girls out there that have the dream of moving out to LA and becoming a model or an actress, anything along the lines in entertainment. Please be fucking careful, like, please.
So here's a seasoned veteran of kidnapping situations, and I agree with her. She is trying to provide caution and advice to all of these girls who decide to come to Los Angeles or any other one of these big cities trying to become a star. But I would put money on it. The next time she has an opportunity to go take photos or put herself in a position where she can gain some clout, she's gonna be there.
But there's some dark shit going on out there that, like, some people are just protected. They don't care about, like, certain shit. I don't know. So I called the police and I told them what happened, and they said they would get back to me. I gave them the little information that I had at the time, and they basically said, sorry, we can't do anything about it. Saying that this person probably gave me a fake name, fake address, all that, and they're probably just gone. But oh, we'll get back to you if we find out anything. 2 years later, bitch, I decide to try again. This time I'm living in Arizona. I get a social worker. I work with the police. Here we go, involving the Silver Lake police again. I really do appreciate the social worker that was trying to help me as much as she could. We spent hours together trying to look anything up and find anything to get this man. But of course, it led to another dead end, and the police once again dropped the case. So I'm just sharing this story for the girls out there that have the dream of moving out to LA and becoming a model or an actress, anything along the lines in entertainment. Please be fucking careful, like, please.
Yep, that's exactly how this happens. I would argue that Los Angeles for sure, and most of these big cities are snake pits. You get a lot of these girls who come out of these small towns, and in their small towns, they're considered dimes, or, you know, they're very pretty girls. And so they think that they can make their way to the big city and they're expecting to command the same level of attention and appreciation that they were receiving in that small town. It's not the case in the big city, because once you get here, your dime is now reduced to about 5 cents or maybe even 4 cents. I've heard countless stories just like hers. There's nothing special about her story. These girls and men come from all different parts of the world, all corners of the international market, searching for stardom, and they end up used and abused or somewhere down on Skid Row, heavy on drugs.
I am not the only person that this kind of thing has happened to. This has happened to hundreds, if not thousands, of women and men. And I know it's not my fault that this man couldn't control himself. There are so many weirdos out there trying to prey on people with a dream. I'm sure there's tons of photographers that just want to build their portfolio and they're offering free shoots in exchange. But please do a little bit of investigating and look into, seeing if they've worked with anybody else, and you could reach out to them and see how their experience was if you don't find much info. This was actually one of the main reasons why I left LA. After I realized I wasn't protected out there and I just didn't feel safe anymore, I had to go. Girl, the fucking nightmares I have had and the guilt that I have just had on my heart, because I wish I would have took a photo of his face so I would have been able to actually identify him and prevent him from doing this to other women and men. Because you never know. But hey, maybe posting this, somebody had a similar situation, unfortunately, but maybe they can give me a little bit more to report him with. So that was the beginning and the end of my modeling career in LA. But yeah, just another day in LA, right?
So the moral of the story is that if you want to be a star, I would argue that that's very easy to do. All you have to do is move to one of these big cities, make the same mistake as this girl has done multiple times, find yourself thrown in a van with no tinted windows, and you'll get yourself kidnapped. And at that moment, you will become extremely famous to the world. You will be the lead star on multiple news channels for a short period of time. But tragically and sadly, you won't be around to enjoy that celebrity or to sign any autographs. Let's strike up a conversation down in the comment section, because I truly want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Do you agree with me that people who make these types of poor decisions are asking to be put on the missing persons list? And do you also agree that this is clearly a download malfunction?
System malfunction.